Hey mages, welcome to today's video. Today I've got some new 0 rare decks for you for best of 1 standard. Been a while since I put out some new brews. It has been requested highly, so I spent the weekend brewing and I've got some really cool decks for you. So before we get on to look at them, just get the gumph out of the way. If you want to really help support the video, YouTube is quite hard at the moment. Likes, comments, shares, everything like that really does help out, and I appreciate it, and spreads the word to other people that might not be subscribed to Total MTG. And if you're not, make sure you press that button. And if you'd like to get any of these cards or any of the cards from my deck, please check out Cardmarket. They're the largest marketplace for buying and selling your cards, so go and check them out. If you're in Europe, there's a link below. Really appreciative of that as well. But without further ado, let's get on to today's first deck. So today's first deck is a 0 rare Gruul aggro deck. This is a deck if you like playing creatures. This has 23 creatures in the main deck, 15 non-creature spells. The CMC average, which is the the average of the spells, is 2.1. So yeah, very very low curve, but has some really cool creatures. So let's start off by looking at the 1-drops and seeing what we've got. Evolving Adaptive is a really good 1-drop. Ends the battle with an oil counter, and Evolving Adaptive gets +1/+1 for each oil counter. When another creature enters the battlefield under your control, it just has to have greater power or toughness, and then you get another power, and this will basically just build up as you go along. So this is absolutely brilliant if you can get this down turn 1. If it's in your opening hand, it's normally the creature to play, and then you follow up with one of your second creatures. That could be Kessig Naturalist, 2/2. This can help with getting some extra mana. Sometimes useful, sometimes not useful, but still a very good creature. This is a great turn 2 play, especially if you've got Evolving Adaptive that will obviously pump that up as well. Or if you've had to go turn 1 Kumano, this will go down 1 damage, then this potentially could come with a counter and become a 3/3. The same will go for any creature if you get that down turn 2 of Kumano and you play 1. Next creature. This one is Yavimaya Iconoclast. It's a 3/2, so good stats for a 2-mana creature. Has Trample, which I love in aggro decks because those little Wedding Invitation 1/1 tokens sometimes do get in the way. So yeah, this ends in battlefield. But if it was kicked, it gets +1/+1 and haste as well. So comes down as a 4/3 attacking hasty creature. Very good, and just for 3 mana, it's definitely worth sometimes holding back if you've got the right plays. If you have to play this turn 2 because you've got nothing else, it's still decent 3/2 Trampler for 2. Then we go to some slightly bigger creatures. We've got Jewel Thief here, so 3/3 Vigilance, Trample again. Like I said, I love Trample. Enters, creates a treasure token, so it can help you either play another creature, another spell, or if you're a little bit stuck on mana, this will help you out a little bit as well. So Jewel Thief is a very nice card, and great budget card for these sort of decks. Mono green aggro, or like this one, 0 Gruul. This is a cool card and does see play in a lot of those budget decks. A Spore Crawler doesn't draw us a card when it comes in, but it does when it dies. So still a 3/2 for 3 is nice, and it gives us a way to draw a card potentially. So 3 of these in here. Get it in there, block something big if you can, or if you just need to draw that card, block something so they just trade off and then you get a card. Last few creatures in the deck is Twin Shot Sniper. We got this as a 3 of. This will help with a little bit against flying. Has reach, very nice. Ends the battlefield, 2 damage to any target. So either after combat where you've gone into a big blocker, you could then potentially take that out, or you can do 2 damage before, remove a blocker, or to opponent. It just depends what situation you're in with this card. It's very versatile. Also has channel, so you can discard it and just do 2 damage as like an instant spell as well. So yeah, lot to speak about with Twin Shot Sniper, and a very good budget card for the deck. And then we have Rampaging Geoderm. Trample, haste. We've got some trample in this deck, which is what I like. So that is the aspect of adding green in. Whenever you attack, target attacking creature gets +1/+1 to end a turn. If it's attacking a battle, put a 1/1 counter on it. We're not attacking battles, but still giving something +1/+1 to end a turn. And this can come down and be hasty and attacking if we're trying to get that final bit of damage in, which is what sometimes you need with this deck. Now, final bit of damage, we do have some burn spells in there. Play with fire, 2 damage to any target. You get to scry one as well. We also have Lightning Strike as a 3-of. It's a good way to finish off opponents and attack planeswalkers, like the play with fire if we need to as well. And then we've got a couple of Volcanic Spite. Now this just does target creature or planeswalker or battle, but we don't have them as I said. But you may put a card from your hand on the bottom of your library and draw a card. So this is in there as an extra little way to draw a card. And Wrenn's Resolve in there to draw cards as well. You get to exile the top 2 cards just for 2 mana. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. So a good way to maybe if you use up your final 2 mana, if you've got nothing else to play, and then for the next turn, you've got those 2 cards potentially to play as well. Land base, very simple because this is 0 rare, so we're going for the 10 mountains, 10 forests, and then just a couple of Racer's Ring. We don't really want tapped lands particularly, but this one, you know, if we do get it turn 1, we're a bit unlucky, but it is good having it in there for an extra little bit of card draw late game potentially as well. So yeah, this is a good aggro type of deck. It has removal, it has card draw, has everything that you really need that you can do on a budget list. So yeah, great deck for new players and beginners, and if you just fancy playing something different, or if you want to take this and give it some upgrades. So the next deck we have is 0 rare ninjas. So it's a ninjutsu deck. This was a requested deck from one of our great subscribers. Wanted a deck based around ninjas, but with 0 rares. So 24 creatures in the main, a lot of creature heavy based in this one, and 14 non-creatures, and a very low 1.9 CMC average. We run just 22 lands in this deck as well. So let's take a look. So ninjutsu. Retrieve what ninjutsu is. You return an unblocked attacker you control as your hand, and then you can put this card in there by paying the ninjutsu cost. So you have to return the unblocked attacker, but if something's knocked out, potentially you can get something better into play. So we'll have a look at the creatures in the deck. The first one is not a ninja, but it's a very important card because, like I said, you want cards, your creatures getting through. So when this enters the battlefield, you can tap target permanent, which then potentially will leave the battlefield clear for your creature to get through. So not a ninja, but a very good card for the deck. Let's have a look at some of the ninjas we have. So Moon Circuit Hacker. When this is just it's a 2/1 for 2. When it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. If you do, discard a card, unless the hacker enters the battlefield this turn, which obviously if you're ninjutsu in, it is very good. And I can't say ninjutsu today. I'm going to have to say it so many times in this segment as well. Ninjutsu is only very low on this one. It's a 1 blue mana, very nice. New to the decks of new to ninjas, Saber, Cryptomancer, Flash, backup 1, hexproof, nice protection for some of your creatures. We got this in there just as a 2-of. We do run counter magic as well in this deck, as you see. But this is a ninja that can give something potential hexproof. You use the backup feature on this, and then you get to put a 1/1 counter on it as well. So very cool card, coming in, testing it out as a 2-drop. One of my favourite ones, Dakushi Silencer. Love this card. 2 mana, 2/1. The ninjutsu is 2 as well. Deals combat damage to player. You may discard a creature card. We've got plenty in hand. And then you get to destroy a target creature or planeswalker. So great removal in this deck. In the creatures as well, not just in instance. Then we go to Nezumi Prowler. Ninjutsu short as well. 2 mana as well. Very, easily costed. It's a 3/1. Ends the battle target creature you control gains death touch. So that acts as a removal. You could be attacking in and then giving something lifelink if you need a bit of life, or something, with death touch as well. So that is another cool ninjutsu feature for this deck. Silver Fur Master, one of the best cards for the deck because it gives all the ninjas a little buff, gives them all +1/1. The ninjutsu of this is a little bit harder to cast, but potentially just because it's not one generic and a colour. This is obviously blue and black, but it means the abilities of ninjutsu cost 1 less to activate as well, so makes stuff cheaper, which is really good in Magic. Potentially you can get 2 in if you've got the mana open. Last creature, Prosperous Thief. It's a 3/2 for 3. Got 3 of these in there. When one or more ninja or rogue creatures go deal combat damage, create a treasure token. Treasures are nice. Got this in there as a 3-of. It's a nice, 3/2 as well. And treasure tokens, when we're running, only 22 lands, they might become helpful. And you could keep up mana potentially for a spell pierce, protect a board, or a cut down if we've just got that 1 extra mana open or 2. So yeah, it's a nice card for the deck. I said we got a bit of counter magic in this one, in the space of Spell Pierce for a couple, and then we've got 3 Make Disappear. We could potentially use the Casualty one as sack, but this is nice early or you know, just protecting your creatures. And as for removal, Cut Down as a 3 of, and then we got 3 Go for the Throat as well. Bit of card draw, Thirst for Discovery, really good in this deck, and any deck that you're just basically using a lot of basics. Draw 3 cards, discard 2, and as you discard a basic card land, and we have 22 of these in the deck. So it makes it, you know, really beneficial to have this type of card draw when you're playing in your 0 rare and your budget decks, because you haven't got, you know, those rare different lands where you're not going to have so many basics to discard. But yeah, this is an aggressive, fun type of deck, ninja based, using lots of ninjutsu and combat tricks, which is what Dimir does so well. Counter magic, removal, card draw. It's got a bit of everything, this one. So if you like some ninjas, give this one a try. Now, the last deck, I have to say, is probably my favourite. It can just pop off. It's hilarious. It's a Orzhov sack deck. And yeah, it can really, it makes Arena sometimes just get really laggy because you've got so many interactions. It's hilarious. So yeah, based around a really cool card called Ghoulish Procession. Whenever one or more non-token creatures die, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. Ability is only once each turn, but you can obviously have that effect in your opponent's turn as well. Now, this has so heavy creatures, 26, non-creatures 13, and has a CMC of 2.0, so pretty low again. We're going with this one with 21 land. We do run some Scoured Barons in this one, so, you know, it's not an aggressive sort of aggro deck. This is, you know, setting up more just for lots of interactions and lots of synergy, and yeah, having lots of things just go off. So Scoured Barons can come in this one. You don't mind the tap land so much. So yeah, Ghoulish Procession. We want stuff to die. We have Elas, Ill-Core, Sadistic Pilgrim. So whenever another creature ends the battlefield under control, we gain life. So we got plenty of life gain in this. I've been over 40 plus in testing. It's been hilarious. When another creature your opponent dies, though, when another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. So we'll be sacking creatures and doing lots of effects like that. So for sack effects in this deck, we have Corrupted Conviction, sack a creature, draw 2 cards. Great 1-drop for the deck as well. Absolutely hilarious. And then we have Flesh Taker, which is pay 1, sack another creature. Can bump this up, give it a +2/2. But whenever you sack another creature, gain 1 life and scry 1 as well. So we got another sack effect there. Also, Invasion of New Capenna. Enters the battlefield, sacrifice an artifact or creature. When you do, exile target artifact creature opponent controls. So we've got a way to sack effect and get rid of something that could be really problematic for the deck in our opponent's side of the board. We also then have Rite of Oblivion, sacrifice a non-land permanent, then you get to exile a non-land target permanent. This has flashback, so we can do it again as well. Fellstinger is another way to sack creatures. We exploit one of our creatures. You know, we don't really want to do it to opponent unless we can make them live on 2 life, and we can kill them with the target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. This also has Death Touch, and it is a nice way to block and then potentially kill a creature as well. You will notice in this deck there's no actual removal because the deck is just all about sack, drain and gain. We've got ways obviously to kill creatures as well, like Rite of Oblivion, but we don't have any cut downs, go for the throats, nothing like that. It's all based around sack effects, and it's surprising how it works as well. We've got plenty of creatures that we can use as blocking fodder. We've got Cult Conscript that we can enter the battlefield tap, but we've got ways to get that back, so that's really cool to sack and then bring back to the battlefield, or use as a blocker, like I say, and then just reactivate it and get it back another time. Spirited Companion will come in, draw a card, block, another great sack effect, and the idea of this is to get these on the field and then amass more of these 2/2 black zombie decay tokens, because when you attack with these and they all die, you can maybe create a couple. If you've got a couple of these on the field like I did in testing, you will then create 2 of the tokens and then you attack, they obviously die. Ilias then triggers off when another creature you control dies. The decay means they have to leave at the battlefield at the end of combat. So then this will trigger and you'll be draining and draining again. If not, you can sack and do. This deck is so fun. If you've stayed to the end of this video, you're really seeing the best deck for me out of the three. They're all good decks, but this is one that I absolutely love. Now, when Vengeful Strangler gets sacked, you put this onto an opponent's creature or Planeswalker, and then beginning of the upkeep, they have to sacrifice a non-land permanent, then they lose 1 life as well. So has so much synergy in this deck. It just runs really, really well. Now, like all the zero red decks, sometimes power decks are just going to run all over you. They really are. But you will take your scalps with these decks as well. So, you know, don't sort of worry about you're not going to get some wins, because as you know or if you've been watching my channel for a while, the zero red decks that I put out all do relatively well as well. So Inspiring Overseer is one that comes in, enter the battlefield, gain a life, draw a card. So plenty of life gain in this, plenty of drawing cards as well. Even Barons gains life as well. But you just need to get the combination of the cards, like Ghoulish Procession, Elias, and Flesh Taker on the battlefield if you can, and then just let the good times roll and the shenanigans will start happening. And once you start stacking all of those effects, people just either quit or, you know, you're just going to win the game anyway. But yeah, this is a really, really fun zero rare deck, and definitely recommend giving this and all the others a go. But that's 3 more zero rare decks for you. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please give these a go. If you like me to do a video of doing upgrades for these, I usually do that on the video after this, so let me know. If it gets plenty of likes and plenty of comments about it, I will do an upgrade video for these as well, and potentially you could put in some gameplay for you if you want to see that as they are. But thanks for watching today's video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and all that jazz like I mentioned at the start. And a big shout out, if you want to go that extra further, to my Patreons. I appreciate all your support so much. And yeah, if you want to become part of the Total MTG Army, you would have had all these deck lists early, and you could have started playing them before the video. And but yeah, you lot take care, and I'll see you on the next one.